Okay, so it's 6:30 p.m. on Monday, August 11th, and I am Veranda Porsche, and I am calling this Select Board meeting to order. So Chip,
Yes.
will you read us the rules of procedure?
Vermont's Open Meeting Law 1 VSA 312H requires that the public be given a reasonable opportunity to express opinions on matters considered by the board, provided order is maintained under reasonable rules set by the chair. The select board invite public comment on each agenda item, an approach designed to support public engagement, meaningful participation in the board's decision-making process. To help keep the meeting on track, time limits will be applied, and comments should focus on the agenda items being discussed.
Thank you, Chip. Okay, so are there any changes to the agenda order?
Yes, I have one.
Okay.
I think we can skip the tax sales item because the select board has done the utmost action that it possibly can. As far as that goes, it has, and the last meeting, the select board decided to hold tax sales annually if applicable, and voted for Sheila to be the liaison to the tax sales and bid for the town.
It's actually to act as the town's agent.
To act as
You're
the
right.
town's agent. Okay, excellent. So we're moving on to public comment. Do we have any public comment
I'm gonna
from
get out of the way here.
right here? And, okay, I see no public comments from our Zoom crowd, so we can move on to approval of the minutes of the 7/28/25 meeting.
I move to approve the minutes of the 7/28/25
Okay, and
meeting.
I will second it.
Excuse me.
So let's see, I just needed a point of clarification. We have nobody on Zoom, so can we just approve by voice vote and not call the roll?
Correct.
Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? And no abstentions. Okay, so we have approved that, and I will move that we accept the following warrants. Payroll week 8/3/25 for $10,098.47. Payroll 8/10/25 for the sum of $8,373.51. Expense warrant 2603 for the sum of $22,263.53 for a total of $40,735.51. So is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, and so to fill in some of the details, it's time to start preparing our highway equipment for winter. And so in support of that, $890 was spent at Chesterfield Tire for the backhoe. DJ's $1,850.40 for the 2017 International, and to Ford of Claremont, $2,546.33 for the 2021, 2019, and 2020 trucks. Mustaller, $850 for 2 months for cleaning the town office and the library, plus $50 for one extra visit to the library for summer camps, that being paid with a grant. Roberts Energy, number one, was at $1,176.16 for diesel, and $477.69 for maintenance on the town office boiler. For Veemers, our contribution, $6,000 $616.91 for employee and town contributions, and $1,668.91 for Vermont state payroll tax. And so those are the invoices in particular of note. So, now we can vote. Yeah,
So, may I ask Jimmy a
yes,
question?
of course.
So we have payroll for 1 week of $10,000 and payroll for another week of $8,300, and there's a fairly significant discrepancy in those weeks. Is that because of overtime, or?
Are you asking me?
I know, I'm asking Jimmy.
You know, I don't know.
Should I ask Ellie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Part of that reason is because the library has had their summer program and their staff is being paid through the town, the humanities grant. So we've had three folks that came in, each led one of 3 weeks, or each of 1 week for each of them.
And that's reimbursable at some point, right?
We already have the grant, so they're spending down their grant. But the payroll goes through us. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
We've had a couple tree calls, but that's
That's what I thought. I was like, what?
Okay, so was that good clarification for you? Okay, were there any other questions or comments before we vote? Okay, all in favor of approving the warrants indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Okay, and no abstentions. So we have approved the warrants. Okay, so now we have an update from our town administrator.
Oh, me.
That would be you, Erica. I know it's been a very busy week.
It has been a very
Busy 2 weeks.
2 weeks, which started last Monday with our internet being out in the town office. We learned after our IT person wonderfully made his way up here that that was because our internet gateway had bit the dust, and it was a piece of hardware that is required to run the internet. So John amazingly was able to rewire the whole thing through the Comcast box, which also can do that same thing, but this piece of hardware is being replaced, and it's a good second layer of defense, but it's working again, thank goodness. So that was one day and some of the next morning without internet here at the town office.
That's awful.
Yeah, it was.
I can only imagine how trying it was to.
Well, it was just amazing that we got it up, so it's great. So then continuing on to normal business, I registered for that BDCC building symposium that happens to be at the same time as a VLCT training that I also am registered for, so I think I will go to the symposium and watch the recording of the VLCT thing. I know Sheila registered for it, but it's gonna be really cool. I was accepted into the Vermont Local Government Institute at UVM. The first session,
Great.
the first session is September 5th, and that one's in person. I think all but one more of the rest of the session is virtual, and it goes through mid-December.
May I ask a question? Where is the in-person meeting held?
At UVM.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
and I don't know about the second one, and
Mhm.
maybe not the same thing, but I don't know. Let's see, so we are still looking for a member of our road crew. We're hiring for that position, so everybody put the word out. Our tax bills were sent out last week, so it seems like everybody's gotten theirs, and we've gotten quite a few people coming in to pay already.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Let's see. I have a note here that some residents may have noticed a change in the speed limit signs on Guilford Center Road at the village center. The select board voted in 2019 to change the speed limit there. And this is just a result of work that started back then. I don't have much more to say about it, but it's now 25, and it was actually set at 25 by the select board those years ago, but the next thing to do for the select board will be to update the traffic ordinance. So that'll be on an upcoming agenda. One more thing about upcoming this week, I believe that the scoping study for the Algiers traffic calming scoping study, the consultant selection committee is ready to meet, and hopefully that will happen this week, and they will give their recommendations for a consultant that will come then to the select board. That's it for me.
That's a lot. Thank you, Erica. That sounds like some really trying circumstances, but that's great. Okay, Jimmy, you're next up.
Okay. Normally I talk behind what we have done, but I'm gonna go forward this time. And there's nothing new, we're kind of in a summer pattern. But I do wanna tell anybody that's listening that we will be grading Creamery and South Street tomorrow. So you really shouldn't grade when it's dry out. This is another little one of my lessons. You can lose all your fines and it can end up the same a few days later when it's this dry. It's just not good. So we experimented with Stage Road a few weeks ago, and we took the truck and watered the heck out of it and started grading the whole process, watered it the whole time, and then chlorided it lightly and then watered it some more. And we fooled, instead of a rain shower a couple nights a week, we got it to lay flat, and it came out, and it's holding really good. So we're gonna try the same thing. It's not that we don't know there's some potholes, but most of the roads are remarkably good. You might have 10 yards of potholes, but like Sweet Pond, there's a couple little sections, but for the length of that road. And so Heinsberg obviously gets beat up. If it goes good, we'll do that as well, and just spot grade. But if you have a few potholes and you wonder what happened to us, that's why we're holding. You know, we're supposed to get rain twice this week, and we might not get any. So we're gonna move forward with that. And then we're gonna cut some trees on River Road on Wednesday. There's an oak that's really leaning, a maple tree's holding it up. So if anybody's going that way. And then that brings me to culverts. We've done a lot of those this year. Really, probably twice as many as we normally do, but they're all need catching up when you have time. So we're gonna keep on that, you know. In the next couple of months, things will change and we'll move on to the next season. And so we will continue that. So I wanna bring up, the next places we've kind of held off on is like Slate Rock and Melody Hill and East Mountain, because the traffic never stops on those, and I don't know.
Really?
No.
Wow.
Typically, well, East Mountain has doggy daycare. Probably, it starts about 5 in the morning, but about probably 7, probably 25 cars go up between 7 and 8:30 and come right back down. And so we usually wait till 8, close the roads from 8 to 1, and they're usually only closed for a couple hours a day, but we give ourselves some time. So those are tough roads because we got a few on Packers Corners too. And the dead end roads are a problem. When there's another way out, it's inconvenient. People might grouse at you, but they can take the long way that morning. And you know, so it's kind of why we hold off on these roads, but if we have time, we're gonna keep producing. So typically we call the VSP in the fire department. And if we think it's really gonna be a hassle, we put the electronic sign out, which for those roads, we probably will. And that's the best I think we can do, unless anybody has any other suggestions. Try to get the word out. Well, it's tough.
I know.
On your hill, it's tough, because there's people there's houses way beyond what you can see. And you'd be surprised how much traffic goes up and down Melody Hill. It's, when we work on it, there's always people around. And,
Well, those Packers Corner people could be challenging anyway.
you know what? No, that's the only road where they're happy. They park the car and take a walk. They're like, great, I don't have to go to town now. I can do
That's
something.
right, the issue on the Packer Corners Road is people stopping the road crew to chat.
Yeah.
You can go look at artwork.
Yeah, yeah.
There's all kinds of things you can do. Yeah. So yeah, we're not gonna have a problem down there. But you know, you got people on a dead end. You got to cut the road. Somebody's not gonna know. And the worst thing would be if they had to be at work or somewhere. You know. So all I can do is try to put the word out. And it's amazing sometimes when we do these things at the board meetings, how much word goes around town, word of mouth. So here we go.
Well, that's really interesting, the drought workaround for grading roads. I mean, it's just another, I mean, we are experiencing, to my perception, climate change so up close and personal, you know. Last winter we were talking about flooding, you know, flooding preparedness, and now we're in the midst of a drought.
Yes, and it's statewide different problems, but it's
Yeah.
all related.
No,
To
it
climate.
certainly is.
I mean, it's a lot greener in the northern half of the state than it is.
Yes.
They're just starting to get brown patches,
Uh-huh.
and my lawn is cooked.
Yes.
And so, yes, you're right.
It's
And who would know it wouldn't shower every time you try to dry hay? It rains. I don't know what's going on, but
well, I just wanted to express our admiration for the versatility that it takes to stay at it, you know. It's really,
you're all so kind to us, Brenda.
no, really,
Appreciate that.
it's
We
just,
all appreciate it.
it's just the way it is. So please convey our gratitude to the crew.
Yeah, Stage Rose is holding up well.
It's nice.
Yeah.
You know.
Surprised too.
Yes, we went and took Chip on a little ride to see what
Oh, great.
GMP was on to another town. So any questions you have, he's witnessed soup to nuts really in a short period of time.
Yeah.
And so if you guys throw it around, yeah, the roads were
Roads are
amazingly
Did you
good.
get any applicants for the job?
I had 2 on file that were late for the last
I
hire.
remember that, yeah.
I have not received a phone call for this time. I shouldn't say that. I've received phone calls. Nobody's come in and filled out an application.
Right.
But people sometimes on Friday think one thing and then on Monday they don't take action or they decide changes it for the, you know. So I think that, and this isn't a small problem.
No.
It's
Right.
Dummerston V-Trans I had to contact because I know the supervisor there to ask him about equipment and whatever. But he told me that the Rockingham Barracks of V-Trans has 2 people out of 8. So the Dummerston is basically covering double their territory at times. I don't know if they want me to tell them their
Right.
business, but they have a sign out all the time. It's a statewide problem. Vermont is getting full of old guys mostly, and women, but the plumbers, electricians, highway guys are all 60.
Right.
And, you know, we want the 25, 30-year-olds to come take my job.
I mean, we don't need to discuss this now,
Yeah.
but I spent many years working in the schools around the state, and I think that we should start in elementary school identifying kids who would be great to have on a road crew and just start nurturing them and having everybody validate that as a career that would bring them, I would hope, satisfaction and admiration in the whole community, and that is not happening now.
You're absolutely right. And I will say the vocational at the Brattleboro, like Turner's Falls recognized that 40 years ago when they started 2 high schools, vocational and regular. A lot of different people like different things. Brattleboro's electrical program, those kids are hired before they leave high school. There's a shortage there. You can ask Mr. Parker. It's hard to get builders. It's everywhere. We're just an aging community here, and we're losing a lot of young people.
Yeah, for
So-
sure.
I will cut myself off.
Okay,
Yes, Steve.
thank you so
Quick
much.
question.
Yes.
Do you ever get people with two cars on dead-end roads who park one car on one side, when they come out, they stop, they walk around what you're doing, get in the other car, go to town and come back and switch cars?
We do, but the word has to get out, and that's the hard part. And yeah, it's amazing. Sometimes I mention things here, and 2 weeks later somebody brings it up. So tell your neighbor or whatever, you know. That the front porch rocker seems to do well, and the electronic signs seem to pick up. But we never get everyone. Try to make everybody happy. That's
Good work. Thanks so much, Jimmy.
Sure. Sure.
Okay, so Matt, now we're gonna have a report from our tree warden. Welcome.
Thank you. Matt Stinchfield, Bassett Hill Road, your town tree warden. And I think we're talking about beech leaf disease in particular. Before we do that, I just want to remind myself, so I don't forget to tell you, that tomorrow I'll be in Ludlow, Vermont, learning about the roadside ash inventory electronic tools that are used to directly link one to ArcGIS mapping system, the Vermont GIS mapping system, so that you can do real-time pinpoint location of hazardous ash trees.
Didn't we do that already?
Well,
Some years
the
ago?
Conservation Commission has done it, and I'm going to learn the methods as well.
I
And
see.
it can be done with satellite-enabled tablets and cell
Oh.
phones.
Okay,
Do we still
great.
have those tablets in the, because we used to have tablets like 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Maybe I'll come around tomorrow morning and we'll see if
In
we
the
can.
I
same-
haven't seen in.
They were up high on the safe,
Okay.
yeah.
I have-
I mean, they
I'm
were
sure.
2 years ago.
I
Okay.
can also
Oh, good.
ask, my neighbors who are on the Conservation
Yeah.
Commission and who worked on the inventory.
I'm just vaguely remembering that.
Yeah.
We had those and that
Yeah.
people were using them and we got a grant for them and blah, 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 so
Okay,
they
good.
may still be
Yeah.
here.
Good, we'll follow that up. Beech leaf disease is a rapid moving disease that only came into the state less than 2 years ago. It was first observed in Vernon, and we were next. And in the last year and a half is found now in every community in Windham County, most of Windsor County, and state foresters say by the end of the year it'll be known in every county of Vermont. It is a parasitic organism that is a microscopic roundworm that winters over in the beech buds and laying its eggs in there, and in the springtime they come out. That affects the vitality of the leaves, which would emerge from those buds. The organism is spread in its different periods of its life cycle by wind, rain, the interstitial fluids of plants themselves, because it sort of rides along in the bloodstream of trees. Birds and other critters move it, and humans are thought to move it too, probably at least with the movement of firewood. And this comes on the tail end, or adds to beech bark disease, which we've known for a long time slowly kills beech trees. And beech bark disease alone is limiting the lifespan of most beech trees to less than 80 years, which is beech is a species which under good conditions might live to be 300. And you think of these grand tree trunks with great root buttresses and beautiful elephant hide bark, and those are obsolete now. And the big problem with all of this is that many, many species interact with the beech tree. Beech nuts, although they're small, are high in fat and protein, and they're a preferred food of black bear, white-tailed deer, all the squirrel varieties, blue jays, turkey, grouse, and probably other critters as well. And that's just the beech nuts. Beech cavities are important for housing for all manner of critters. And dying beaches are a place where maitake mushrooms might grow. The biggest problem we're seeing with beach leaf disease is it's accelerating the fatality of the trees. Small trees are, and we know this because it originated in Ohio, and it was first observed in Ohio, came from the Asian continent, and it was first observed in Ohio in 2012, and has made its way now into about 15 states and 2 Canadian provinces, kind of working towards the Northeast. So there is some history of dealing with the disease that there's no ready treatment for it. A specimen tree in an arboretum might be able to be saved with injections, but it's just not practical for forests which might have, some stands here would have 40% beech to begin with. I'll tell you what we're observing right now is that the beech trees are doing 2, let's call them Hail Mary gestures to try to survive. One of which is they've sent out second flushes of leaves, which they're doing at the expense of stored nutrients in their roots. And the second is that they're sending root suckers, which is one of the ways that new beech trees can come emerging out of the roots of existing beech trees. Again, they're using soil nutrition and stored carbohydrates in the root system. So what they're trying to do to save themselves is actually speeding up their demise, because they won't be able to withstand 1 or 2 more years like that. I have made the observation that with plant diseases, we often look at the tree that's suffering and the critter that, or whatever the disease vector is, the ash tree and the emerald ash borer, and we put our focus on that, and we say, oh, woe is us, that's terrible for the ash trees, and what are we going to do? And I think that's part of the discussion with beech trees, particularly that as larger trees are dying now quite quickly, and I haven't even mentioned some of the other fungus, there's a heart rot that is occurring in beech trees and ash trees that adds another layer of disease to the ones we know about. We're going to have more and more standing snags that are dangerous in maybe depending on where they are. If they're out in the forest somewhere, not, that's just nature, and those snags provide habitat for creatures that want nests in hollows created by woodpeckers and so on. But beech trees along the roads and in people's yards are going to be dropping big limbs, and the tree trunks are going to crash into power lines. And so for that, some proaction on behalf of everybody who has a stake in it, of removing those trees as they become diseased. And it's quite easy to see the lack of leaf cover right now. In addition to the conversation we were just having about drought, one of the observations is because of the lack of beech leaf cover, the forest understory is drying faster than usual. And that's affecting things. I noticed like tree frogs are very low this year. They need a moist habitat, and the understory is also drying out very quickly. So a lot of these things. But I think the message I want to bring to Select Board and the citizens of Guilford is, although it's important to look at the beech tree and talk about the roundworm and all that, I would ask yourself, who is affected downstream from the poor health of the beech trees? All the different kinds of wildlife that feed on beech mast are going to be looking for food somewhere else. And I'd hate to see us vilify black bears because they're hungry and they can't find beech mast, and they come in and tear bird feeders apart and so on. So the human beings have a role in not accentuating the problems of wildlife trying to find food. Deer are going to browse, even though they already browse fruit trees and berry plants and things that we hold dear, they're going to do it to a greater degree because there's just not going to be the beech mast that's available. I would say if you're interested in planting trees that might be helpful, any variety of oak trees, and some arborists are now saying a good thing to do would be to start planting oaks that are a little bit more southern to sort of meet the opportunity of climate change. So scrub oak, for example. The oaks are good forest cooperators. They don't prohibit other oaks, different species of oak from living. You can have white oak and red oak and black oak and scarlet oak, you can, chestnut oak, you can have them all together. And they all produce some useful food supplies. Hickory trees, depending on if you have rich enough soil, and witch hazel. These are all plants that provide mast, and the oaks grow fairly quickly. Certainly something we might not see in our generation, but for the next generation, replacing beech trees with good, food crop trees for wildlife, I think, is important.
So Matt, let me just ask you something. If, I think that there would be a lot of people interested in this aspect of what you're saying. And I wonder if you would be willing to give, like a short workshop on replanting for, people who have the interest and the capacity. Because, I would love to hear an hour's worth of this now, but we can't. But I know that many people would be interested in doing that. So could we
Yeah.
reach out to you and try to work something out?
Absolutely, I feel that would be in my purview as tree warden to do something like that.
Well, that's great. Did anybody have any other questions, comments for Matt?
No, that was really good.
Yeah, I
Good
love the
job. Thank you.
videos
Yeah.
you sent a while ago, and I'll get it to you because I've been following up on that, reading about other people responding to forest blights. So
Very good.
something
Thanks.
really inspiring
Yeah.
for
Got a
us.
question?
Kyle,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Kyle,
Oh,
Or Fido.
Thanks.
oh,
This is the first time I've heard of this actually, and we have a lot of beech trees on our property which are dying, and some have like fallen and caused damage to various structures. I would also be interested in finding, doing an hour or having you come visit and do a workshop in my backyard with people, just to learn more about it, because, we've got a lot of beech trees on our property.
yeah. And some places it's not as visible if you mostly have mature beech trees because it's happening in the canopy. For example, where I am, I have it all as regenerative understory. And right now, it looks like somebody just took a flamethrower and went through and wiped out all those saplings. There's very little leaf cover. And to where normally in the summer I wouldn't be able to see 50 yards, it's now feels like it's the winter landscape. I'm seeing hundreds of yards because of that. So, and the younger trees are more susceptible, is what we're hearing. But I've also seen it in, 80, 100-year-old beech trees I think it's just the last straw for them.
Thank you for the information.
yeah. So I'll definitely reach out to you and we can just sort out how and where and, as just a next step, because it's important and I think many people care.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would like to know, what can I do?
Exactly.
And you may not save the beech trees, so let's put the
No.
energy somewhere more helpful. And I think that really is to consider all of the collateral damage downstream from the beech tree, all the critters and
Yeah,
understory plants that need the shading that beech trees afford,
Mm-hmm.
for example, are hurting. So, what could we each do in our own settings
yeah.
that would be helpful to the other organisms?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks,
It's
Matt.
really illuminating.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so now we're on to old business. And the old business is the update on the Green Mountain Power undergrounding project on River Road. And Erica has some up-to-date information for us.
Right, so I compiled all the comments and select board comments from the last meeting when we talked about this agreement, and I created a red line document out of Green Mountain Power's agreement. And I sent it to our attorney, who just sent it back this afternoon. She didn't change too much, she just helped with some of the language and actually simplified the instructions, which I appreciate a lot. I can talk through this right now, or I can share this document with you all, and we can address it at the next meeting. Tim said he was going to come on Zoom. He's not in the area right now, but he said he was gonna come on Zoom, and I don't see him here. The Green Mountain Power representative. I was hoping he might come to answer Steve's question and some other questions that some folks had. So if you guys wanna hear all the rundown of the red line, we can go through it now and talk
I'd
about it.
rather wait since it came
Wait.
in so late. Yeah, I've got
Sure, yeah.
7 questions.
Oh, good, okay.
Based on, the discussions I had with these guys and Jimmy in the field already, and, regarding culverts and
Yeah,
maximum extent just 7 quick questions. But we can go over that next.
But
2
maybe Tim could be given those questions?
right, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I can send it to him. I don't
Yeah,
have
so we
that.
can get answers, so we can
Yeah,
finish
And
with this
also,
document if that's what
Could
you
he
wanna do.
look at the red line also?
Yes, I can send it to
Okay.
you.
And then
send
we
me
can
his
say-
email, or I can send them to you and you.
Yeah,
forward
I
them.
can do
It
that.
would be better if Erica
All right,
sent
sure.
everything, it goes through her.
And so this is a document that you can send to Jimmy as well, so that,
Yes,
I assume that, we can get our ducks lined up.
yeah, I went through the changes verbally with Jimmy.
Okay.
But he can definitely have a crack at the document itself and make any notes and tell me some marching orders about it.
Okay.
Steve.
Oh, Steve.
Sorry, Steve Lemke, River Road. For those of us who live there, we got a letter, 10 days ago or 2 weeks ago from Green Mountain Power saying that this is gonna happen, it'll happen in 7 to 10 days, it'll start. Can I assume that nothing will happen until the document that you have in front of you is actioned and taken care of? So we're probably looking not at tomorrow, but probably
Right.
3 weeks from now or something.
I would think when Jimmy, you can fill in too, but I think when we were there, they weren't where it's just like, it depends, like some days they said they could do 4,000 feet, and then depending on rock ledge and stuff, it might be 200, depending on what the work is. I don't think in the next 7 days it'll be going down River Road though, do you?
That would be very ambitious.
I just don't think so.
When he
Yeah,
said that to the field supervisor,
I
he was
will, I
like,
won't make it.
So,
So no, we had plenty of time.
yeah,
We had
if
time.
the stars lined up, but
Yesterday afternoon, I saw a little white car with GMP, on a Sunday driving up the road and I thought,
Yeah.
laying it out right now, but anyway,
No, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, my impression at the meetings when they were here was that their urgency was to get this thing signed, rather than that they were actually going to be on the road ASAP.
Right.
But this is due diligence, I feel, on behalf of our town. Okay.
Definitely. So there's one element to this that I should have covered in my update. I would like to add it now.
Please do.
The Franklin County Land Trust bike race, the D2R2, is on August 23rd. And they, I think, are going to be very grateful that this work won't be started at that time or before that time.
And
Yes.
I'll tell you, somebody else is gonna be equally happy is on the 24th, is the New England Green River Marathon, when they run from the old Marlboro campus down to Greenfield Community College, and there's 500 runners. So we got 1,000 people coming for lunch on Saturday and 500 runners going through the bridge on Sunday.
Oh, my goodness.
And there are about 1,500 cyclists for the Saturday.
Excuse me, but are there things on Front Porch about these two events that are gonna happen and cause a lot of
Well,
traffic jams?
first of all, let me say this, there will be things on the Front Porch Forum, and we at the Green River Village Preservation Trust have worked really hard to negotiate with the D2R2 people and the marathoners, and we do the traffic control across the bridge on Saturday and Sunday. So we don't take prisoners either, we make sure that the people from the local community can get through the bridge and get to work and things. It was a problem 4 or 5 years ago, it hasn't been a problem now, so we will announce it and say it, but I wouldn't anticipate. Last year, there were 1,000 riders with 1,000 bikes from 10 o'clock in the morning until 2 in the afternoon having lunch at the Green River Dam, and my phone didn't ring at all last year. So,
Oh, mercy.
Wow.
Yeah, Steve does a really good job coordinating all of that every year, in both events, and then the marathon's fairly new, but the D2R2's been going on for a while.
and the
It's
marathon
pretty
is
seamless.
basically done by 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, they're well on their way toward Greenfield, all of them by 10 o'clock. So,
Well, thank you, Steve.
Yeah, he does a nice job with it.
Just,
It's a lot.
I'm a little agog at just, you know, the density. I mean, just those events happening so close together, that's a lot of oversight. So thank you. Okay, so moving right along, we're skipping the tax sale.
Yep.
And now we're on to Guilford Center Road paving bids.
Yes, we had our bid opening this morning and we had two. One from Northeast, which is also known as Eurovia, and one from All States. Anything to say about this, Jim?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, Jimmy, sorry.
we accepted all states bid.
Yep,
Oh.
okay, so the Northeast bid was $465,102. And this is for 2 miles of paving. And All States was $317,737,000, which was pretty close to Jimmy's original estimate of 309.
Okay, so,
And that is, we did check for apples to apples. I mean,
I'm sure.
because that's the other part when you get a variance like that is maybe somebody forgot part C of the equation, but it's all there, so.
How can you tell? I mean, I'm looking at aprons, side road aprons and crushed stone and tack coat on the one, and just shoulder gravel, that's side road apron, shoulder gravel?
It's mostly the tack and the tonnage of asphalt and the gravel. And most other things, labor and all that's just packaged into the price of that. So,
Mm-hmm.
and they, I don't know what you have for reading material there, but yeah, so that one, that's why we went through that, because it was condensed.
Yeah.
But the material that Erica gave them to bid on, later in that packet they followed that guideline, and we went through it with their representative, that tonnage. They actually were pretty close on tonnage of numbers, just their price was different. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will move that we accept the Allstate paving bid for the Guilford Center Road. Is there a second?
second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, the ayes have it. And now, moving right along, we have radar sign placement. So, as you probably know, we have had concern about speeding on the Heinsberg Road and a request for the possibility of some law enforcement action. And so our first action to really ameliorate the situation, you know, is to place one of the radar signs close to the problem area. And so did you want to say more about that, Erica?
Well, just a little bit. So when we originally were purchasing the 4 new radar signs that we have, the select board didn't have a motion, but I think discussed that 2 would go on Weatherhead Hollow and 1 on Guilford Center Road at Cemetery Hill and another on Heinsberg. But Danny requested to take the Heinsberg one and locate it at Blueberry House for their summer season 1 year. So there's that original Heinsberg Road location that has still been left without a sign.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And so, so we had been thinking about moving one of the Weatherhead Hollow Road signs over to the Heinsberg Road. And we have found, just anecdotally, on the Weatherhead Hollow Road that it has calmed some of the habitual speeders. So we can hope that it will do the same on Heinsberg.
What does the sign cost?
Let's
If we
see.
were to buy a new one?
Um,
About,
yeah,
A
4,000.
few thousand.
Yeah.
how much?
I don't remember exactly, it's been some years since we bought it, but it's a few
Didn't we
thousand.
buy a bunch of
We
them and
bought
we had?
4 of them, and I think that the cost for 4. Gosh, I'm sorry, I don't want to say
That's
the
all
wrong
right,
number.
if you don't have it.
But-
Yeah, the 2 on Route 5, I believe that's a state road, and I believe they supplied those.
No, they did not.
They didn't,
No.
okay? I stand corrected.
I can pull it up.
Well, I'm just saying, is it worth it to consider somehow finding a way to buy another one?
I see where you're going, yeah.
That's
Well, it's
why I
not
asked
just the
question.
cost of the sign, but there's also the cost of
Subscription.
Yeah.
the subscription for the
Monitoring.
sign
Oh.
and reporting, yeah, which is expensive.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there a reason, and you probably know, the placement of the signs on the Hollow Road? Why that section was, why they're placed where they are?
Well, one of the,
I think Danny, it had something to do with the existing speed limit. Like, he didn't want it to be in a 45, he wanted it to be in a lower
Okay,
spot.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Probably, because the houses are most clustered where that is. It's just past Harry Evans's
Mm-hmm.
going south, and it's at the fairgrounds coming north.
right,
So that's the most intense housing on the Hollow.
yes.
And there's probably a speed down there from
It's a reduced speed.
there in that section?
There are, I know coming into town, there's a 35-mile-an-hour speed sign right there, and I don't remember if there's a reduced speed, additional sign. The other sign that's along the straightaway of the Weatherhead Hollow Road, well, interestingly, there used to be a broken line for passing back there. Oh, Ellie, you have something?
Please finish your thought though first.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
All along Weatherhead Hollow, we have, depending on the time of year, we've got roller skiers, we've got lots of bikes, we have runners, we have rollerbladers, and especially in the summer, we've got all those, and then in the fall, we also have some of the high school teams with the roller skis are out there, the cross-country folks. So I would think where the most people are, which is where you've identified in that section, it gets pretty hairy at times. There's a lot of traffic besides cars.
Yeah, I
That's a good
certainly
point.
observed that. And past Yaw Road, past Zons Road, it's pretty open, you can see pretty well. But in those turns and with the housing clustering there, that would make sense, that it's tighter.
We do have a lot of traffic that comes from Massachusetts to go to work and to go home. For some reason, I've seen lately a lot of New Hampshire cars going down that way. And on occasion, we've got 18-wheelers taking the back way to avoid the highway to go down towards Greenfield.
So Ellie, are you suggesting that it might be wise to leave those two signs on Weatherhead Hollow?
Oh, no, not at all.
No, I think
good.
that's important.
But I'm just saying there is a lot of traffic on Weatherhead Hall.
Yes, especially at certain times of day. And also somebody who was very vocal about speeding on Weatherhead Hollow Road. I noticed that the 35-mile-an-hour sign is right near his house, but he hasn't complained lately. So anyway, so I wonder which sign would be best to move if we're going to, or do we need to is our motion to move one of the signs or to move a specific sign?
Probably should be to move a specific sign,
Mhm.
or just let it be Jimmy's.
Well, I will just add that on the center road, there's one at Cemetery Hill, because you're approaching the
Yes.
library and everything that goes with that.
Yes, yes.
And the other one's going in the same direction at the Blueberry House, I think was specifically for that summer traffic. They're both in the same direction. Every other set of signs,
Yeah.
one's going one way and one's going the other.
Right.
So you have two going the same way. Just,
That's the one I think I would look at moving, because you're going 45 and then it suddenly goes to 35, but not, is it going to 35? I think where it goes to
Goes to
35 is right there.
Right there.
So you're already at, 42, 43, you see people 50, and then they hit that sign and they're, if you're gonna use it, it should be back a little bit to let them know that 35's coming up instead of, they hit it at 43 and they're not going 35 by the time they pass the Blueberry House, it's right around the corner. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if you're gonna pull one, I know Tara was the one who wanted it up there previously, but that would be the one, because you see how well they work on Guilford Center. And I know how well they work on Weatherhead Hollow, because I'm down there
I
quite a
have
bit.
to say, for the summer season, the amount of activity at South Street and the Blueberry House,
Yeah, no, I'm
Can
not
justify it?
debating it.
I
I'm just
think
saying
I'm
move it
leaning
up
towards
further.
Mike. Can we produce another one? But
It's $3,500 about per.
there's an
per
annual
month.
fee for
And
the
there's like
computering and
500, 350 to
Um,
500 for a subscription. I know Brattleboro pays 350 for their subscription, their cloud connection.
I don't know.
So-
I'm a question mark.
But
But I think out of
they're
the six,
supposed to be able to be moved. That was the
Yeah.
selling point when we put them in,
Yes.
is that
and,
we
it,
would be
and we
able to
can
move
do
them.
that. And that, out of the six of them, I would yank the one from the Blueberry House probably. But
Or just move it back.
So
or
school
something.
starts soon. Ice cream is,
6 months
Yes.
at Dick Clark's and 6 months at the
yeah, I mean, it's worth a trial. We can see how much money there is in the highway
No,
budget for.
but that is a solution as well.
Yeah.
A seasonal shift
Yeah.
of,
Yeah,
That's what it was originally kind of proposed for when Tara brought it up a couple of years ago, that it was gonna be a float, that was the floater.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Mhm.
that is definitely.
Okay, and so,
you let me know.
Yeah,
well,
we're gonna do
I
it.
think that's a good action.
Steve's got a question.
Oh, yeah.
I just have a comment that when the one on the Blueberry House, albeit the intersection and the summer traffic, people pulling in and out, but that's a flow of traffic. You don't have what Ellie was talking about there with runners and skiers and things. On the Hollow Road, what happens is that somebody's coming along, there's a couple runners, there's a bike or two, and that forces them not only to slow down, but it forces them over into the oncoming lane. So you've got this dance that's going on around the bikes and then up through.
Mm-hmm.
And that's more dangerous in my mind than just a straight shot, cut it down from 50 to 35 or something like that. So I would agree that the Blueberry House one
Okay.
would be good and not mess with the hollow ones
I would.
until they're.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but I want to add that traveling Guilford Center Road every day, sometimes twice a day, there's more and more bikers on Guilford Center Road. There's now pedestrians walking on Guilford Center Road. It's really becoming dangerous in places. And having biked on Guilford Center Road and given up doing that because it's so risky, it's like, so I do think that Guilford Center Road's becoming a real problem too.
Well-
Serious problem.
I mean, I think that we can take this one action and also look at future actions about looking at purchasing another suite of these radar signs.
Right,
Has
could
there
we
been a
at least
study
suggest
done?
doing that? I don't know if it's Jimmy or whoever does, but check what it would really cost to purchase another sign.
Okay,
so we
well,
know
let's
that.
take care of this motion and
Yeah.
then we can, okay. So I move that we place the Blueberry House radar sign on the Heinsberg Road once school starts.
I second
Okay, any further discussion?
My one question would be, do you have a spot that you had decided that you wanted that placed?
I think that you can,
I think both
Figure out-
Warden and Dick Clark have a lot of experience with where the real speeders are on that road. Probably.
Okay,
yeah.
I
you-
can certainly consult with him.
Yeah,
Well, I
That would be a
think
good
that
idea.
would be just fine.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's right. And he would like to have that agency, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? And no abstentions. Excellent. Let's see, is there any other, oh, and so also, just duly noted, Jimmy, that we want to look into the price of, Jimmy and Erica, look into the price of more of these signs to keep our neighbors safe.
I will get a new quote.
Okay, and so,
Well, the thing is too, if you're gonna do that, there are cloud-based, we should have, maybe they have a way to process all that information, then you can study it and actually see, what this, what I mean, to see if they're working effectively or how often or what the percentage is or,
Yes.
right, okay.
yeah.
So then we would know if we wanted to buy 2 or 4 or none.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that will go into our consideration. Okay, so is there any other business?
No.
Okay, we can go into correspondence. Erica, would you like to characterize a piece of correspondence for us?
Yes, I can do that. I did get a message from a resident of Stage Road. Sorry, I'm in a different spot. Alex Manning sent a message to submit a message on the town website. And I will summarize it by saying basically he does not want Green Mountain Power to do really much of anything near his property. And if Tim was here, I would have asked him who Alex could contact at Green Mountain Power, because he has a lot of specific questions about where things might go and his specific property, and wondering why his neighbor got a letter but he didn't get a letter. So those are valid questions, and we'll have to just learn those answers.
Thank you, Erica.
Yeah, and I have one more. The select board got a letter from Wyndham Regional Commission saying that we are pleased to announce the Wyndham Regional Plan update was adopted by the Wyndham Regional Commission at their regular meeting on July 29th.
Okay, thank you, Wyndham Regional. Okay, so it's time to review the actions we have taken. We have approved the minutes. We have approved the warrants. We have approved the paving bid for Guilford Center Road. We authorized Jimmy to move the radar sign. And so, actions to be taken, we'll study the possibility of more radar signs, and I will get back to Matt Stinchfield about giving a public workshop on how to adapt to the beech tree challenge. And can anybody think of any other actions to be taken?
Yes, the red line for the Green Mountain Power thing, I'll share it with you all and
Yes.
feedback, and I'll also share it with Jimmy and Green Mountain Power.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. Now, will that be a document that interested citizens can look at or not?
So, well, it hasn't been agreed to.
Okay, so probably that's premature. Okay, that's terrific. So then the next action to be taken is the motion for adjournment. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Thank you.
A-okay. Clocking in at basically 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Thank
And
you.
a good meeting. Okay, so the meeting is now officially adjourned. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
We lost Chip, but
well, that's okay. I think he'll go with the flow.
Yeah.
Okay.